if you look at where Nigeria is today, do you think that we are heading in the direction of that greatness that many of us believe is the destiny of our country?
Not at all. We are heading in the wrong direction. We are taking one step forward and 10 steps backward. We are not heading in the right direction at all. This was not the dream of the forefathers of Nigeria.
So what do you think is wrong with the direction that we are taking now, and what can we do to fix it?
Our problem as a country is foundational. Nigeria problem is foundational, is fundamental. The scripture says, if the foundation is wrong, what can the righteous do? Nigeria was structured to fail ab initio. From the British colonial masters, I always ask people, Google and search for Mr. Harold Smith's confession on Nigeria. I'm sure you must have also done that before.
Yes.
That old man who said his conscience can't let him rest and go to his grave, and confess how the British colonial master mandated the British officers that were here, and he was one of them, to make sure that the power, now two things, the census was corrupted, manipulated, and given the largest population to the north, and that the headship, the election of 1959 prior to the independence should go to the north. It was a special directive from the Home Office. So from the beginning, the country was handed over to the north. And that is the basis of our problem. And if you go back to history, the founding fathers, Chief Obafemi Awolowo of blessed memory, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Sir Ahmadu Bello. You know, Nigeria was a negotiated country. And what was negotiated was a federal structure. Even then, Chief Obafemi Awolowo said the statement is a green statement, and Nigeria is a mere geographical expression. And Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe said, look, we are the same. We could run together. And you remember what Sir Ahmadu Bello said? He said, no, we are not the same. You are an Igbo from the east, a Christian. I am a Fulani, a Muslim from the north. That we are different. We can only manage our differences. It is that differences we mismanage. When the coup of 1966 came and suspended the federal constitution and slammed on us the unitary system, which we are still battling with today. What we call constitution today is not the Nigerian constitution. It's a unitary system, military decree, which we are lying to ourselves about. So the problem of Nigeria is foundational. And until we return to who we were before the military intervention, we will not get ourselves right.
Excellent point, Pastor. And I'm very glad that you've also come in touch with what Harold Smith said. I had a guest about a couple months ago who actually met Mr. Smith, recorded him on video in London, and you know, they put out his book. So everything that you've said about him is very correct. As a matter of fact, why those Nigerian nationalists were meeting in London, their hotel rooms were bugged. They bugged their hotel rooms. They were monitoring them. So clearly, so clearly the foundation was very shaky. But even then, we ourselves now, when we took over, we made the situation worse by the breakdown of law and order that led to civil war and then eventual military. So my next question is that, so what are we supposed to do? So now we've been independent for 65 years, Pastor. So can we still be holding, the British folks responsible for what has happened to us?
You said about the constitution, you talked about the patriots and their proposal, which you believe the president should take up or listen to. Are you implying that the current National Assembly constitution review makes no sense, it's not valid?
They want to amend the constitution in 83 places. If you have a clause that is used and you are a stone and you want to patch it up in 80 places, why not just throw it aside and write an elegant constitution? We have a draft already. Nigerian constitution should not be more than 20 pages, federal. Relation between the federal and the regions or states. Then each region or state should go and craft its own constitution. Nigeria is not one nation, but we are in the same territory, no problem with that. Let everyone go and do what suits them under Nigerian territory. So we need to have a federal draft, we need to have a state or regional draft. The Yorubas are different from Fulanis. The Hausas are different from Fulanis. It's nothing negative at all. We are just different. And even resources is different, not is farming. The south is crude oil. Middle belt is solid minerals. Even to focus on that, it will be different.
So that is Dr. Akin Fapunda. Thank you very much, who is the Director of Research of Afenifere. He's also a public Nigeria may be one country, but we are not one nation. This is Pastor Femi Emmanuel. This message is very deep, and I want you to pay attention to listen to this video. Very, very important what he is going to say. And if you see what he is saying, talking about, is the same thing this man is saying. This Fakonda is the same thing that he's saying, that one country cannot help us. I mean, one nation, one country cannot help us again. This one, if you have been following this man, listening to everything he has been saying, that is it. Because this idea of one nation, one Nigeria, I do not see it helping this country to grow, or I do not see it be a solution to the problem. The solution still lies in our constitutions. Constitution must be revisited, revealed, and even a brand new constitution. Yes, because this constitution now, a lot of things has gone wrong, and there's no how you are going to amend it that is going to be a good constitution to move this country forward. You see what is happening in National Assembly now. They not always carry the vote. Majority carries the vote. And this man also said, it's just not a federal republic of Nigeria. It is a federal republic of the North, because everything is always from the North. You wait for the North to do everything. See what is happening in National Assembly now. Just imagine, take that for instance. See how many times Senate President, how many times they have this issue in National Assembly just because of something. Who are those people? Is always from the North. Is always from the North. So everybody now already know the problem of this country. We are looking for a solution. Solution is regional system of government. Let's start from there. Anyways, take your time, listen to this video. We'll come back and talk about it. But don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be your guy. Run out for me and subscribe.
Mr. Laulu, you and I have just said, once the foundation is wrong, there is nothing you build on it that will stand. We've been independent now for 65 years.
Yes.
If we continue this way, for the next 65 years, we will still be like this. When a train derails, it doesn't just go running in the bush. Nothing makes a wrong right until you correct it. That's why I believe that what the patriots are saying is Chief Emeka Yauko
Yes.
and go. That's the way. This one, we are just buying time. We are just frustrating ourselves. We don't trust ourselves. Mr. Laulu, we could be one country, but we are not one nation. Every time I see you and your guests, I see Okimbaloye, I see many of you. Anytime anyone begin to say we are a nation, I tune off. We are not a nation. We could be a country. I mean, we could agree to live together, which was what the original constitution was all about, federalism. It is good to be together for size, for economy, for military power. But to say that, look, Google, again, I'll be asking you to do a lot of Google and find out the meaning of a nation. A nation is a community of people with the same ancestry, the same tradition, the same culture, the same value system, the same vision, the same mission. Now, look, and with that, we were different nations, different kingdoms, before the British came to colonize us and fought us together in an amalgamation of evil. And you know that we were amalgamated for their own commercial purposes. And when the military came, they entrenched that modernization. They entrenched it on us. Don't forget that the military were on us for about 33 years. That's a whole generation. And when you look at the military general, from Murtala Mohammed to late Muhammadu Buhari, to late, not late, to Ibrahim Badamasi, to Abacha, to Absalam Abubakar. Those were the main military powers that ruled over us, apart from the 2.5 years of Obasanjo after the death of
and then General Gowon.
General Gowon that started it. But you see that after Gowon, all the other, and of course, you know, in the military, it is obeys the last command. And look at those generals I mentioned. They were all Muslim Fulanis from the north. So they took time to entrench Nigeria and gave it to the north. And when I say the north, gave it to the Fulanis. That is the truth. It may be a very hard truth to say, but that is the truth. And except we go to the truth and find out this is our situation, what can we do? Then we will continue to just be in vicious cycle. So Nigeria we have been entrenched in an unending crisis. And if you know the history of the Fulanis, you know, an invasion. Usman Danfodio invaded the north, subdued the Hausas. The Hausa is a subdued nation. Now, there is no major city in the north where you don't have an emir. And go and find Hausa. There is no Hausa emir. They are all Fulani emirs. And what is the problem we are having today? This insurgency, this crisis, is it not the headers, the Fulanis, extremists? It is all tied together. We will have peace and have progress if we return to what we were before their intervention. So saying we've been long, why should we keep on blaming the British? It is the foundation they have laid that we are still on. And nothing will make a wrong rise until you correct.
I agree with
counsel that we need to pause the political system. We are in the wrong direction. We'll keep going. Look, if Tinubu wins 2027 elections, all the decampees now that are decamping now, they are in line again for appointment. Once you fail or you lose election, you lose Senate, you have to be made ambassador. The INEC chairman now will also have to make ambassador. I mean, we're following money show today. We are in the wrong course of recycling these old people that are really tired. What we have now is politics of banditry. You predate, you fight your way, you become a senator, become a governor, and you just have to do all that it takes at all costs. This is not the right way to govern. We need to decentralize the power of the country. The president, we always say, is so powerful. What is the use of the power? He can't sit more than on the bed at a time. He cannot ride more than one jet. What is the big deal about this power that somebody cannot be reasonable? But we are suffering. Look how much money has been spent on kinetics. How much is a bullet, as General Musa said? You fire a bullet, how much does it cost? All the soldiers are in the bush. We are not talking about education. Nobody is talking about those. Nobody is talking about artificial intelligence, which the world is embracing now. We are just living on predatory life for survival. We need to really pause and spend the next 1 year to discuss the way we are living. But like it says, so are we together? How do we be together? When we do that, then all of us will have a sense of inclusion, and the best minds will volunteer. You don't need to spend 100 million to get a form.
Yes.
You don't need that. We need to reform the system fundamentally and strategically.
You mentioned one of the brilliant minds from the Southwest, Chief Bola Ige, the late Chief Bola Ige, who died in a very, very terrible circumstances. I'm not even sure whether his killers have been found. But let me look at Afenifere again, your organization, whose ideology is based on that of the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, that advocated a philosophy of fairness, justice, and national well-being. So for some time now, it would seem that President Bola Tinubu is emerging or trying to emerge the Yoruba leader in the mode of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Does Afenifere see him in that light?
Well, the Yorubas are very, let me not say sophisticated. Anybody can say whatever he wished. In the minds and hearts of Yoruba people, we know who is selfless, we know who is intellectual, we know who loves himself as he loves the others. It is true that our president now engineered himself. He used all means possible, including Muslim ticket, including splitting Afenifere into two. But Afenifere, we were 11 in the executive of the Afenifere properly. Only 2 defected to Tinubu's side. The 9 of us are still intact in the Adebanjo fashion. It's a fact. So Afenifere is, we believe in welfareism. Freedom for all, life more abundant is the motto of Afenifere and it stands. When Abanation now because Tinubu has seized the political space, and can anybody say this? And Awolowo will have produced blueprints in advance of coming in. We know what's happened in 1979. UPN states were ready to govern under Awolowo direction. The same thing allowed for democracy too. But this haphazard governance and waking up and doing things, subsidy or no subsidy and all that, it's not Awolowo style. Nigerians should know it. Yorubas also know it too.
So you're essentially saying that President Tinubu was not ready to govern, and it's not ready to govern, and it's not doing well.
It's not me saying it. We already have 2 years of it. It's not me saying it. The facts are there. We now have evidence, empirical evidence. If I were to remove subsidy, I would have prepared all the palliatives in advance. Automatically. How many CNG buses are on the road now? How many CNG buses? The only signature project of president now is the road from Lagos to Calabar, the road from Sokoto to Badagry. But in Yoruba areas, where are the roads? Osun State is down now. The governor is being strangulated. Is that an Awolowo mantra to strangulate your own area too? Osun State is down. It's dying. And Tinubu is watching. It's unfortunate.
Now, based on what you've just said, it has become quite apparent that public trust has been lost along the way. What actions do you think could be taken to regain and rebuild to boost the public trust once again?
The patriots visited President Tinubu last year. He affirmed that he wants to do economics, that politics will come later. He has done economics now. He has passed tax reform. The tax reform, we are going to see a lot of crying when it comes to effect, but let's leave that aside. I still plead for President Tinubu to change gear. We have to look at the politics of Nigeria. He said, economy first, politics later. This next year is for politics. And the blueprint is there. It's just to send a bill to National Assembly to say, authorize for a new constitution to be debated and agreed on, By May it could be done. By October 1 it could be effective. We should not go into the next election with this predatory system that we have now. Let him even plan to retire. 4 years enough as president of your country now. Must it be Bobia of Cameroon? It doesn't have to be. How many months did the Murtala rule the country and we see the impact everywhere? How many months? I will actually rule Western region only up to 1959. He ruled from 54 to 59. And we still have the impact up to today. So if we can just bequeath a new polity on Nigeria in the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, all these things will be wiped away in my own record.
Okay. Many people find the country at a critical crossroad. Some have defined this as a moment of truth. There have been some saying that the narrative points that some people must have sponsored the institution of insecurity for 15 years for it to have been sustainable for 15 years. Do you think it's time to start naming the sponsors of this heinous act?
Actually, we are not going to the root of our problems at all. I served in Kano State in 1975, 50 years. In BUK then you see swarms of small boys trying to even eat the food you are eating on the table, Almajiris. Anybody who is alive in that time, no skills, no school, nothing. Between the age of 30 now, 40 and 50, they are the ones carrying the AK-47 all about. We are not going to the root of the problem. It's not to celebrate General Musa as a very good person, competent, no doubt. But rather than call sociologists and call people who really know human behavior, we want to shoot our way through this problem. I'm not convinced that we are on the right track.
What's the right track?
The right track is as I told you now, we have 50-year-olds that I witnessed who have never gone to school. Their father is in Sokoto, they are with Malam in Maiduguri or in Lafia. No parental guardian, nothing. They are just on the streets. Grew up to 40 years of age, grew up to 45 years of age. Are they just going to melt away? They can't just melt away. It's a social problem. It's not a guns problem at all. If you really want to go to the root of the problem, in my own opinion, the leaders of the North have not addressed the issue of how they promote their Almajiri system. Their own children cannot be, my own child cannot be Almajiri. But they are so self-centered and they ignored all the children of the North that are not be going to school all these 50 years or more. What's going to happen? Nobody's talking about it.
Dr. Fakunda, you've really given us something to reflect on. The root of our problems and the fact that we haven't solved our political issues, which will now help us to solve the social issues that you're mentioning. So let me take you back to politics, back in 2022, before the general elections in 2023, when Afenifere endorsed Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party from the Southeast, excuse me, against candidate Bola Tinubu from the Southwest. In fact, the late Pa Ayo Adebanjo seemed to be the arrowhead of that support for Mr. Peter Obi, although we had figures like Chief Ruben Fashoranti, who supported Tinubu. When you reflect on that today, does Afenifere regret that decision to support Mr. Peter Obi? Because he did say that it was in the interest of fairness, equity, and balance for the Nigerian project, and that is important to us living as a country in unity and advancing forward.
My brethren Yorubas, they think and behave as if we are in Udua Republic, where Yorubas can be entitled, they can be a Milokan, can be our Lokan. But the Nigerian landscape belongs to everybody now. So, Obasanjo has served 8 years. And so, Professor Vice President has served another 8 years as whatever. If we want to be inclusive and bring the whole country together, it's only the Igbo that have not been president. And Afenifere, my own faction, our own faction, believes in equity and justice. Once you have rigging your way, snatching your way, and getting into position, you are not even prepared. It's clear that our president now is not even prepared to govern from day one. Why are you appointing? In fact, you have to have a list ready before you are sworn in. If you have economic diplomacy, you have to have trained them on what you have asked them to go out to achieve. But it came in just one slogan: fuel subsidy gone. And then we went to sleep. Can you imagine the cost now, the ambassadors now? Do you know each one of them with their wife and children, how much business class ticket we have to pay? Can you imagine how many dollars they have to be given to the extra code? And they have less than 1 year to serve. A terrible waste of the system. If you had an orderly system where, as everyone wanted, Obi, nobody can doubt his capacity, nobody can doubt his competence, nobody is perfect as a human being. At that time, he was the candidate for the time. The nation decided to do otherwise, and we are paying the price today, so unfortunately.
Now, you've spoken about ambassadorial appointments, and I want to ask you my next question on that. So do you think Tinubu's ambassadorial picks are based on competence or political rewards?
Well, let's have two categories. The career ambassadors, that's the peak of their career in service. They're supposed to have gone for 4 years term to serve the country properly. But they will not be hurried out, and in the next election, if Tinubu wins, some of them might be retained, but they have to be recalled again. Imagine the waste. So their careers have just been truncated. They have been lying-eyed for the last 2 years, just rotting away in Abuja. As for the politicians, it's just the good, the bad, and the ugly. I really cannot pick anyone seriously that is of the nature of Christopher Kolade, ambassador of commissioner in London those days. You cannot think of it. But the worst part is that in the next 4 months, it will take 4 months before they even be on post, because the countries have to agree to be ambassador before they will accept. They have to stand by when they are waiting for them to present credentials of their nomination. So the next 4 months is a waste in terms of resources, in terms of time. When you do something in a hurry, rush, you fail and fumble. It's so regrettable that we have this situation.
Yeah, to you, Pastor, I was trying to say that we have had enough time to fix our problem. That was the point I was trying to make, which is why I will now ask you that. So what should we do?
There is no amount. What can we do? What can we do if we don't fix it from the foundation? There is no. I've listened to so many arguments on TV. I just say no. We have to go back. Once you have a foundation, a structural failure, it's different from when one window pane is broken, you change it. Your plumber, the WC is broken, you call the plumber to fix it. But when it's a structural failure, you have to go to the foundation. That's why all these constitutional amendments, you can't amend the lie. We're just wasting time and buying time. You can't amend the lie. I want to ask you, where did we sit down to make Nigeria 36 states with Abuja as the capital? Where did we sit down? The country that was negotiated was 3 regions: the North, the West, the East. 1963, by plebiscite, Midwest came. Where did we sit down and draw the boundary and then gave 19 states to the North, 774 local government, majority to the North, 8,800 ward, majority to the North? Look, there is no bill that can pass in that National Assembly if the North does not say so. Because the North, as we have it today, is the kingmaker. They don't hate the North. I love the Hausa, I love the Fulani, but we must tell the truth. So anybody that is talking about fixing Nigeria, that is overlooking the foundation and is saying, let's just go, it's not possible. It's not possible. That's why we try to the patriot and some other a good Nigeria that I say, look, we have looked into this situation, except I am a pastor today by the grace of God, and a general overseer for that matter. And I can tell you with all honesty that even God Almighty did not make Nigeria one. No, it was the colonial master that forced us together, and the military came and reinforced it. Except we untie ourselves, we are going to be playing. It's going to be a long night.
Very, very interesting points that you are giving us, and I agree, entirely with your view that we have to fix this. And one of the things that I am also trying to do is to raise awareness about what has to happen now. So, for instance, I have great expectations that now that you have somebody like the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the office, he was, I mean, before he got there, he was sounding just like yourself and myself that this has to be restructured. Now, would it not be a disappointment if President Tinubu does not do this thing, in your view? Because it's one of the things that I'm holding out hope that he can lead the effort to restructure this country.
President Bola Tinubu, to his credit, before he became president, was a strong advocate of true federalism. That's what he was known for. True federalism. But, he said he has ambition to rule. By the grace of God, he's there now. But he's in a very tight corner, Mr. Olawu. I doff my hat for him. He's a courageous man. You can see bold and courageous steps he has taken so far, including the latest appointment of the Minister of Defense, which everybody seems to have applauded. Wow. So as subsidy is gone, that takes boldness to do.
True.
Because even the military generals and the previous president, everybody knew the subsidy was killing us, but who has the will to do it? Because the powers that were behind subsidy will swallow you up. But look at the boldness, look at the courage in many of his decisions. He's not an angel. Nigerian president is said to be one of the most powerful presidents in the world. That's why people are killing themselves to be president. So let's have strong states and regions, and let us have the president there to do the other thing we have mentioned. That is the only way out. And that is what he should do. If I see him today, and I ask for advice, I know it's not going to be easy. Because those that are benefiting from this crisis, those that are benefiting from the problem we want to hold on to it. The National Assembly we have cannot do it. Now they will tell you, you have your representative in the National Assembly. Go and talk to them. Between you and I, are they really representing us? Those who go there, and the first bill they passed was how to feather their nest, the constituency project, and the governors. Everybody is feeding fat except the masses. This madness must stop. All our children are japa. It's like Nigeria is a burning roof. It's like a nation that is coming down. How many of us will japa? At what age? Those who japa, what they get to come over there. So the earlier all of us begin, look, we don't need the next election. What we need is not the next. The next thing Nigeria needs is not the election. The next thing Nigeria needs is to fit this nation. Is to fit this nation the way we are talking it now. Let's sit down, bring out the 2014 constitutional conference document, think how we did. Let's see what is still relevant. Let's see what. That's the way to go. And let us have a referendum. You have a constitution that does not have a referendum. It's just to tie the other people down to the apron of the ruler. This is not Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is Federal Republic of the North. And that is the truth. Very hard truth, but that is the truth.
Very interesting. Even though we seem to have gotten the idea of rotational presidency, and it seems to be working well. But you know, what do you think about that?
Is it working?
Oh, well, it is. It's now the turn of the South. You know, it was the.
Look. I'm not a politician. I've done that 32 years ago. I'm now a leader of men. Look at what happened to PDP. Look at that crisis. If it's working, there is this gentleman agreement. 8 years in the north, 8 years to the south.
Yes.
And President Muhammad Buhari did 8 years.
Yes.
So by that gentlemanly agreement, he should go to the south.
Yes.
Because you saw another man came up and said, I still want to do, which was what brought crisis to PDP. They have not solved that problem till today.
That's
so how do you say it's not working? It's not working. Because that 8 years shift is not in the constitution. It's a gentleman agreement, which he said, look, some people will tell you, as long as you are a Nigerian, you are qualified to vote, which is what is in the constitution. But there is this gentleman agreement which he broke, and that he broke PDP up to today.
He did.
And everybody's talking about becoming one party. Is it becoming one party state? Things are just happening. I mean, getting worse every day. We can't continue like this.
We can't. I agree entirely. But let's move on to another topic that I wanted you to talk about. Right. So the insecurity, the killings in the country, and what had happened recently when we had the unusual occasion of an American president saying, "Hey, what's going on there?" You know.
Yeah.
So what's your take about the intervention of Mr. Donald Trump in our? Well, in fact, he said that there is genocide going on in Nigeria.
Yes. Mr. Lalu, nobody can deny that there is genocide going on in Nigeria, real time. And it's not just that today. It's been on for a long time. Those of us in the South, we may not feel the heat, but our brothers in the Northeast, Northwest, to a large extent, North Central, are under attack. You see, even if you are not there in Maiduguri, in Yobe, in Plateau, you see the number of people buried every day. You saw the cry out of Reverend Ezekiel Dachoma and several others. You saw those footages, everyday cry, everyday death, everyday shooting. So Donald Trump tweets was only a wake-up call. He's been there. And you know, America pride themselves in being the policeman of the world. America pride themselves that, look, we cannot open our eyes and let such practice. It's been on for long. Whoever say there is no genocide in Nigeria is being economical with the truth. It's not being honest. It's been going on. Killing, especially Christians. It's not only Christians that are killed. Muslims are being killed. But initially when Boko Haram started, it was focused on Christians. Later, some Muslims who are being killed. But if you find that you go and profile, every life is important. Muslim and Christian, every Nigerian life is important.
Yes.
And it pains my heart. Whether it's a Christian or Muslim or non-believer or free thinker, nobody make life, nobody should take another person's life. But we have a group of people who felt the rest of us are infidels. The rest of us are Catholics. If you don't agree with that, their own Islamic ideology, you either submit or you are taken off. It's been there. So Donald Trump only was saying the obvious. And of course, being an American, being the kind of person he is, we are not going to allow this to continue. I fully agree with him. There are those that are saying, you are a patriotic leader, you are a patriotic Nigerian. If Donald Trump should come, there is no nation American has ever gone that were left the same. And there are a lot of all kinds of theories outside there. It's coming for our minerals, it's coming for our oil, it's coming to destabilize us. If I heard him well, President Donald Trump did not say it's coming to take over Nigeria and annex it to America. He did not say it's coming to take over our presidency and remove our president. I didn't hear him say that. He said, if Nigeria system or government is not able to face out these killers and stop them, America will not mind coming to fish out these killers, these bloodthirsty killers, these ones that are killing with impunity and nobody is able to restrain them. That America will not open their eyes. Do you know how many thousands have been killed? Thousands. I mean, when we are not in a war. So, if I had him well, he didn't say he's coming to take over our government. He did not say he's coming to take out our president. He's saying if Nigerian government will not be able to stop them, and from all that you have seen, have you been able to stop them? Have you been able to secure life?
No.
We don't be able to do so. So if we take an outsider, a Donald Trump, to help us, I think so be it. And I think the government should not shy away. This thing is overwhelming. The truth is that we have been overwhelmed. Nigerian government has been overwhelmed. Nigerian people have been overwhelmed, except those who just want to be dishonest, except those who also want to Sharia. You know the problem with Nigeria? We have a country where you have two laws side by side. The North is independent code Sharia. Sharia that tells you should not abuse the prophet, and if you do that, you are killed. And how do you have a country? You have two laws side by side. Mention another country like that to me. That one is Sharia. We are criminal code, and we say it's running together. We are just being untruthful. We are just being hypocritical. Everybody is careful not to offend the full animal. I watch the former president of Kaduna L5 that says a full animal never forgive. A full animal will take you out. And I watch the Biafra state governor. I'm mentioning this name, you can find that is in the public space. That said the full animal everywhere is his country. Anywhere he moves to, that is his country. He doesn't respect boundaries. He doesn't follow your constitution because they believe that the whole place is given to them by their God. That's what we are fighting. That's what we are up against. And it's an ideology. Can't be pacified. When I see negotiation with the terrorists, do you negotiate with terrorists? No, Americans say you don't negotiate with terrorists, you take them out. You don't negotiate. It's an ideology. They believe that's why they are on earth, to further the cause of their religion. And except you accept their own religious way of life, you are an infidel. An infidel should be killed. And if an infidel is killed, there is reward for them in their paradise. And if they die killing an infidel, there are 7 virgins waiting for them up there. Now, can you think of such a demented orientation? And they believe it. Now, how do you fight a man that is ready to die? So when people say diversity, the beauty of diversity, I said diversity with who? With people who want to take over. They are out to take over, brought in from the Sahel region to take over, and they don't believe in democracy. So how do you sit down and discuss with such people? Well, I don't have problem with them. If that is what they want to do, let's leave them to do it. I watch the Emma of Kano.
So I'm talking of SLS, Sanusi Lamido.
Yes, Sanusi Lamido. I watch him, and he's still in the public place. He said one time, that was when I knew this man will have a problem. He said, if you take Northeast and Northwest as a country, he said it will be the poorest country on earth. And if you take Northeast and Northwest out of Nigeria, in no time Nigeria will be like Singapore. I said, they will soon go after this man. And you saw what happened. Because anyone that wants to say such a hard truth, and he is the full animal, and Emma was a prince then, being vocal, being who he is. And that is the truth. If Sharia, they can't live under a democracy. They don't believe in democracy. They can't live in a democracy. They want to live in a Sharia state. If that is what they want, give it to them. But let the rest of us also live our life. And let us have a way to coordinate at the top.
Thank you. Thank you so much. One last question I wanted to respond to very quickly. So you are the director of politics and governance for the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria.
Yes.
What ought to be the role of the church, as a religious body? A lot of Nigerians, we are religious people, whether Christians or Muslims.
Yes.
How can the church be an agent of the kind of change that we so desire in our country?
Thank you very much. Nigeria is a highly religious country, but highly ungodly. Religiosity and godliness, they are two different things. You talk about the church now, and this is the burden I carry. Look, God took me to politics 32 years ago. 1991, 1992, 1993. I saw that my eyes open. It's like a veil just left to see what Nigerian state is. That is the passion and the burden I carry. What I saw in politics cannot be seen from the pulpit. The church is a sleeping giant. The church does not know the power they have. The power of democracy, the power of democracy is people. People. The church has people. The church has spread. The church has intellectual people. The church even have money. But the church is a sleeping giant. We all grew up as Christians to be told politics is dirty. Politics is evil. Don't go near politics. They will spoil you. If you want to go make heaven, leave politics for politicians. Leave politics for politicians is what has brought us to this level. Next to God's power is political power. Next to God's power is governance. And you said leave politics for politicians. You know, a Yoruba adage says, if you leave the glove for a madman, he will turn it into shreds. Leave politics for the politician. Politics is dirty. Politics is not dirty, but we have left it in the hand of dirty people. We left it in the hand of corrupt people. And that's why we find ourselves where we are. The church should salvage this nation. We have the population. We have the spread. We have the intellectual capability. We even have the money, but we are politically asleep. And that is the problem the church has. And I keep saying to the church, we have prayed enough. All this, let us pray, let us pray. We will still be praying. But we have prayed to a level that God has answered our prayer. God has answered our prayer in this country. You say how? By giving you, look, a denomination, a political, a Pentecostal church, one in this country, has over 11 million members. Parishes and branches everywhere. Some other churches, I don't want to be mentioning them on there, also have massive. But, you know, the Christian community in Nigeria is an imprisoned community. We, their general overseer, and I'm not counting myself out. We, their general overseer, had imprisoned them. And you know, the church is the shepherd and the sheep. The sheep will never see anything that the shepherd has not made him to see. Especially with the Pentecostal brand. It is we Pentecostals that call our overseer Daddy and Papa and our Lord, and we follow them like a sheep, follow the shepherd. So I call on the general overseer, give a new orientation. Let's tell our members, politics is not evil. That was a mistake of the past. Politics is not evil. You know, in Nigeria, there are two major religions, apart from the traditional religion, Islam and Christianity. While Christianity believes that there is a separation between the states and the church, the other religion believes that you acquire the governance, the coercive and the economic power of the government to enforce the religion. That's our problem. So the church must wake up. I told the church leaders, I said, can we get a month, just a month, only 1 month, to reorientate our members? Let them know that they have civil responsibility to this country. They are not just there praying and hoping for when Jesus will come the second time. God has already given up. Look, I became a Christian 53 years ago, 1972. I got born again in First Class Gospel Church. Till now, 53 years. Since that 53 years until now, I met the church praying when I got into the church. The church is still praying till today. And I say to you, when you continue to do the same thing the same way and hoping for a different result, that is the definition of madness. If you pray for 50-something years, some people have been there before me, 40 years, 30 years, and the thing is deteriorating instead of getting better. Shouldn't something say to you, we are missing something? Now, you can't change the system you are not involved in. So let the church fathers know, unless you are involved. The Bible says we are the salt of the earth. You don't put a salt on the shelf to make a difference in what you are cooking. You get involved and it changes the character.
Absolutely.
The Bible says when the righteous are in power, it is when, not if. So if the church will take themselves away from governance, I am not saying the general overseers to go partisan. I can't go partisan. General overseers can go partisans. Our daddies, whose name I don't want to mention it, can't go partisans. But God has given us these people as members and they submit to us. Let's orientate them. Let's ask them, go back to your street, go back to your world and join. Politics is grassroots. And that's another thing. Even non-Christian, there are patriotic. Can I say this? There are patriotic Nigerians. There are Nigerians who won't steal in and outside of church, even from Muslims, even from men and Muslims that are not seeing other people as infidel. There are good Nigerians inside this country, outside of this country, who have the passion, who have the intellect, who have the ability, who won't steal, that can fix this nation. But the system we are playing now will never allow them to emerge. Because the system is a political system. And in Nigeria, democracy is only on paper. Democracy is supposed to be the government of the people, by the people, for the people. That's not in Nigeria. In Nigeria, political parties are owned. Mr. Olaolu, as brilliant, as cerebral as you are, as civilized as you are, if you want to be a councillor, the smallest, you must have a godfather. Because some people own the structure. So you can, if you don't have credible delegates, you can't have credible candidates.
Wow.
If we vote, the structure we are running now, if we vote 100 times, we'll be voting for the same people. Because it is the party that we produce who to vote for. This is what many Nigerians don't know it at all. Many Nigerians don't even know it at all. Even the youth. Look at the population of the youth in this country.
Huge.
But you can't take anything on social media. You can't say anything agitating. You can't say anything speaking big grammar. You can't change it running away. No, we got to sit. We want to move to the grassroots, overwhelm them at the ward, and produce delegates that will vote for credible candidates. Then Nigeria will be making headway.
Thank you so much, Pastor Femi Emmanuel, for your very deep insights today. Thank you for your voice on the situation of the country. Thank you for your projection, and thank you for coming to Inside Sources.
I hope you listen to that. Very good. That is the truth. You may argue, have issue with this, with what they say, what I'm saying, but we all know this is the truth. The truth is bitter to say, but when you eventually say it and decided to do the right thing, you will see the right thing comes your way. It might take time. It's not even going to take time. Living together in these conditions is going to take time for us to get it right as a country. But if we go back, take time, take 6 months to 1 year to discuss these issues and return this country back to where we were, I think that one, it will go a long way, and it's going to help us. Do you understand? Because we are not one. Have been saying this. We are not one. We can never be one. We cannot live together in peace, unity, and harmony. The name Nigeria is what is binding all of us together, that we are from Nigeria. In every other things, we are different. In terms of life, way of life, culture, everything, we are different. And if we are one as a country, we claim to be, we are one, how come some region has been marginalized? If we are one, some region is being marginalized, they are not allowed to contribute the same percentage others are contributing. How are we one? How? So we are deceiving ourselves. We are deceiving ourselves. But it is unfortunate that people who truly believe this country should work, that we are not one Nigeria, those people are few. Like I always say, we are few. And even if we are many, but people who holds the power, who knows that this country is not one, we need to change it, but they are not in support. That is the problem. But we cannot keep quiet and allow them to rule us. Except we are not ready to change, we are not ready to get things right. Take for instance, when you go back to history, they said Nigeria was this, Nigeria was that, Nigeria was good, Nigeria was that, Nigeria is a giant of Africa. It was that time they gave the name, Nigeria is a giant of Africa. Do you think if they were to reassess now all the Africa countries, to give them this name, to give them this giant of Africa, do you think at this present time they will still give the name to Nigeria? Nigeria is a giant of Africa. No. No. We are not again. Why? Because of this hatred, tribalism, we are not ready to work together, all those things, and it's not helping us. We have to return this country back to regional system of government where every region will be allowed to rule their region the way they want it. Nobody should come. The leader should impose on everybody what to do, dictate what to do, not to do. Right? It is not helping us. It is not going to help us. If we spend 65 years of age beat together after independence, being together as one Nigeria, and it has not helped us, when do you think one Nigeria is going to work? The country is only, the younger generation are only growing out to become the same, to see the country the way it is. That is it. But if we can start now changing things, start letting the younger generation know how things should be done, at least that one will help a lot. The younger generation, they will start doing things right. But this one now, no. We are not getting it right. We are not heading anywhere. We are not on the right track at all. People have been saying the Constitution was designed to fail. Even some people, I listen to a lot of persons in the National Assembly that say this Constitution cannot help us. This Constitution cannot help us. Is it helping us today? No. Especially when some region has been marginalized. Like this, one Nigeria, we are not giving opportunity to people who really qualify to do the job, because Nigeria president is too powerful. Everybody are desperate to be a Nigeria president, desperate to say Nigeria president is from my region. No. So the Northerners, they are not the same with other regions. The Fulanis and the Hausa. Now imagine, for me now, if people from the south, we want to call them, we say people from the north, they are Northerners. In that north, they have Fulanis, they have different region in that same north. They have Fulanis, they have the Hausas. And now the Hausas are still complaining about the Fulanis, that Fulanis are the problem of the country. Do you understand? So some of them are not even happy with the Fulanis, the way Fulanis are doing things. So why should people who we regard as one, region, Northerners, they are not even happy with themselves? You expect them to happy with other regions that are different entirely. Everything about them is different from them entirely. You are expecting them to be happy about them? No. Now, when you look at the National Assembly, every time they have issues with that National Assembly concerning law, this, that, amendment, whatever, the problem comes from the Northerners. If any time they have issues with Northerners, look at what is going on. Senate President today, Northerners. They always have issue, crash in the National Assembly, Northerners. So we are not one. We cannot work together. This country cannot get better under one Nigeria. Now, this man, they said it. The constitution has been drafted already, how these things should work. It's just for people to come together and sign it and say, yes, let's do it this way, return this country back to region. At that time, nobody will be desperate to be a Nigeria president. The power of the president will be minimized. They will reduce that power to the minimum. Every region will have their own region, their whole governor or their own leader who is to lead every region. They can manage their resources, control their region, control their borders. Do you think the way the Inspector General of Police is handling things now, or the way the CDS is handling things, Chief Security, Chief of Army Staff, they are not the same, right? See, who want to negotiate with bandits? Who want to say some bandits are good, all bandits are not evil, all bandits are not criminals? Come on now. And these people who do not even see these terrorists as people terrorizing the country, affecting the country, you want them to bring solutions to the problem? Remember, as now we are one Nigeria. If the region is not secure, other region too, nothing will work. Nothing will work until this country return it back to regional system of government. We divide this country to say, hey, we are not one. Go and do your thing. Go and do your thing. Solve your problem. If you are not ready to move forward, so be it. Leave it. Anybody who is coming to Nigeria, they know where they are going to. They will avoid some region. What do you think? Please share this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel.